Greetings everybody, Ultimate Reviews here and welcome back for another video. So on Friday I pre-ordered the Apple Watch and this was kind of a big deal for me because it's the first ever Apple product that I've made an effort to pre-order. I've never really been that engaged with their products, but for some reason the Apple Watch stood out for me, and on top of that my nearest Apple branch were offering try-on appointments, and of course considering how rare it was to get your hands on the Apple Watch, I had to grab that opportunity. So in this video we're going to cover just pretty much my first impressions, and I've got some incredible footage for you guys. So let's not waste any time, let's dive right into this. So starting with the overall design and build quality of the Apple Watch, if I had to summarize it in one word, it would probably be slick. The smartwatch market has been around for just over a year now, and we've seen all types of designs. We've seen circular designs such as the Moto 360 and the LG G Watch R, and then we've seen your very typical looking smartwatch such as the Sony Smartwatch 3, and these all resemble that square display. The Pebble smartwatch is also included in that category. The Apple smartwatch, you could say, looks like your very typical smartwatch. However, they have customized it to just look like Apple. You can tell it's an Apple product. They've just made it look shiny, it looks premium. Now, I pre-ordered the Apple Watch Sport, and it's basically a single piece of anodized aluminium, and there's actually a really interesting chemistry behind all of that, and I will explain that in a moment. But it does differ to all the other models of the Apple Watch. It's aluminium, whilst the other models of the Apple Watch are stainless steel. I have to say, the band of the Apple Watch Sport Edition reminded me a lot of the one found on the Sony Smartwatch 3. They both feature that silicone design, which is also interchangeable, and in the demo the guy kindly showed us how easy it was to remove the current strap and replace it with another one. You simply press down on a button and slide it out and it literally pops out. It's that simple. And he also showed us the different types of straps that were available, and in the UK I think it started at £129, which is expensive for a strap, but that was just the minimum. You get some real stainless steel metal buckle straps which can cost up to £500. Now, moving over to the actual structure and design of the Apple Watch, you may have noticed that dial at the side, and at first that seemed really hideous to me. It just looks like it's not needed, but then it really does flow with the software included in the Apple Watch. It acts as a rotating dial which allows you to zoom in and out, and that's the way the watch works. When you're on that home page, you simply slide over to the area which you would like to zoom into, then you use the dial and it kind of just zooms you in, and that's all it does. It also presses down, you can actually hold it to activate Siri, which was pretty cool, and then beneath that dial you've got another button which simply acts as a wake and lock button. He didn't really go in depth, so it may act as other features. It might be how you could change the lock button on the iPhone. They could program it in a way so you could press that button and it could activate all types of other stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, the Apple Watch Sport Edition features that anodized aluminium. Now, anodized aluminium is actually really interesting. Apple love to use these fancy words and include it in their technology just to make them look even more premium, and it really does put them ahead in the competition. Well, anodizing a metal is an electrolytic passivation process used to increase the thickness of the natural oxide layer on the surface of metal parts, according to Wikipedia. To summarize that basically means that they've been able to make the Apple Watch look even more smooth than possible. There's actually some really cool advantages to using anodized metal. One of them is that it adds to the overall strength of the metal, so the Apple Watch would be less susceptible to damage, so you know, dropping it on the floor, scratches, that is reduced, which is a good thing. And then there's a few disadvantages to it. Well, there's actually one major disadvantage which I don't think anyone would actually encounter, and that is thermal stress. So when the Apple Watch is put under a lot of stress in heat, it could cause it to damage, possibly bend. There would be a lot of scratches appearing, which isn't exactly a good thing, but I really don't think anyone would actually expose their Apple Watch to that much heat. But again, this has to be tested first. I guess if they're talking about heat as in oven heat, then yes, that's pretty obvious, it would damage. But then if they're talking about the sun heat, like people going on holiday or hot seasons, then this could be potentially a serious problem. And I have to say, the Retina display just looked incredible. Apple have done a great job previously with their displays, and you would expect this from the Apple Watch. It's a small display, which means they're able to pack as many pixels into it as possible. And with the black background and the multicolored icons, it just stands out even more. So moving over to the software. Firstly, I just want to put my hand out and say that it wasn't actually that slow. I've seen a lot of reviews of people saying it's really slow and unresponsive. Well, I was able to flick through some of the apps and use Siri, which again was also really responsive. And the Apple Watch was actually able to keep up to speed. There wasn't really that much lagging. It is still in the early stage. There probably hasn't been any updates passed through it yet. So when there are updates, anyone who is experiencing lag, it would probably be fixed. The software in the Apple Watch is very different to Android Wear, and that might seem like a really obvious statement, but Android Wear consists mostly of just swiping up and down and left and right in order to flick through your notifications. But then with the Apple Watch, you've got all your apps spread out across the whole screen, and then you've got the digital crown at the side, which basically acts as a zoom, and that just allows you to zoom in and out. And the way the guy showed me at the Apple Store, you simply move over to the area of the screen that you would like to zoom into, and then you use the digital crown to zoom in, and that's pretty much how it works. But yeah, the Apple Watch software overall is just different, and it's something you can easily get used to. It's not difficult at all. It doesn't really require that much process of thought. You're just simply zooming in and out most of the time, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's something you can get used to, definitely if you're coming off Android Wear. But yeah guys, this has been my Apple Watch hands-on and first impressions, and this was really first impressions. It's the first time that I've been able to actually absorb the detail that Apple have put into the watch, and it will be compared with Android Wear smartwatches. But I think with the Apple Watch, it's more of a fashion statement, especially the ordinary Apple Watch, not the Apple Watch Sport. The ordinary Apple Watch and the Apple Watch Edition are purely fashion statements. It just looks good with clothes for some reasons, probably because it's shiny and it's small and rounded. But yeah, this has been the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. I will be bringing a whole lot more content on April the 24th, which is the release date of the Apple Watch. So make sure you're subscribed to stay tuned for that, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.